Good morning. My name is Tim from Plugged Into Leadership, your outlet for leadership success. Grab your mugs. Here we go. I got my State Farm mug this morning. It's kind of plain, but it's cool. Tea tastes the same, whether it's in a State Farm mug or a Plugged Into Leadership mug, which you can get yourself. So grab your mug, put some tea, put some coffee in it. Here we go. I'm going to try to open up the world of my reality a little bit more this morning. So please be patient with me as we do this. One of the things I have said a number of times on this show is that it helps me frame and think about things that I'm working on for myself as I prepare for the show, as I keep them in the front of my mind. So if you know me, if you knew me 3 or 4 years ago, and you're hearing me say some things and be like, yeah, why didn't you apply that? I get it. I understand. This helps me a lot as I continue to grow and develop. So a few years ago, I was on staff with an organization, and we did kind of a retreat where we were off, kind of secluded as a staff. Those are amazing. If you have a team, I would suggest getting away, spending a day, spending an evening, just being out of the office, getting to know each other. Those times are huge, but that's secondary. So we were doing a really great activity, and the activity was that we all had paper bags with our name on it, and we asked everybody on the staff to write down 2 positive things about somebody, and then 1 thing that they could possibly improve on, and then put it in the bag. And I was really excited for this, and so I went through and I did it for a bunch of the other staff. And when I read mine, some of them cut really, really deep. But being in a growth mindset, which is our first step to leadership, really helped me reframe some of these. And I keep them. I mean, this was years ago. I keep them and I reread them often to make sure that I'm continuing to grow. And I want to read some of the negative things, some of the things that I can improve on. And then I want to talk about some things, how I've grown, hopefully, in those areas. So one of the things that I've been trying to grow with, and you can tell me right here, is one of the things that I can improve on was sometimes I talk too fast. Sometimes I'm long-winded. It's difficult for you to have an opinion and not say or defend it. Sometimes I'm argumentative, can get defensive quickly at times, that I need to be open to new ideas and not get upset when I'm criticized, and people don't always know that I care about them. So those are just a few of some of the things that I was told that I could possibly improve on during that exercise. And I really took those to heart, and I've been really trying to improve some of those things in my life and in my leadership and in my conversations with others. So one of the major things that I did is I started a journey on how to get better at these kind of conversations, and having conversations with other people, conversations that inspire others, conversations where there's synergy going on, where we're co-creating, where we have maybe a level 3 conversation. I'll explain what that means in just a minute. And part of that journey was employing a coach. And one of my first coaches that I had was Andy Kerr, and I'm excited to be able to say that Andy Kerr has agreed to be on the show and be interviewed, and he really helped me work through some of this stuff. I actually get to sit down with him tomorrow and talk about that. He will be on a future episode of Tea with Tim, so look forward to that in the future. But Andy Kerr really helped me frame some of this. I read the book Crucial Conversations with Andy. I did a series on that a few weeks ago. But another book that really helped me was a book by Judith E. Glazier called Conversational Intelligence. And one of the things that she talks about is these conversational blind spots. And I want to highlight just one of them that has been really helpful for me. The conversational blind spot was assuming that the other person sees the world as I see the world. So that's a blind spot. I didn't recognize that they don't have the same background, they don't have the same understanding, they don't have the same context that I have as I'm presenting what my idea is. And so I can spend a lot of time doing what Judith calls these level 1 conversations where I tell, sell, and then yell. where I just tell you my idea. I assume that you're just going to adopt it because, of course, you see the same thing that I see because it's so simple, it's so obvious. And then you resist a little bit, and so I try to sell you my idea. And then that doesn't work either, and so I just get mad and upset and raise my voice, the argumentative part, and assume that you're going to then adopt my idea. So I've really had to change how I reframe some of these things. So now when I'm in a conversation, I'm attempting to go to the level 2 or level 3. And one of the main things that help me, if there's one thing that you take away from this 6-minute video, is to ask more open-ended questions. Ask more intuitive or questions that invite the other person. What do you see is going on here? What are some things that you think we can do to help solve this problem? How can we work together to make this work best for all of us? Those are open-ended type questions. And as Dave just said in the chat, good leaders ask great questions. So we need to start by asking these questions. And when we do that, we help bring their world and our world together. Even if that's in our whole team, if we're sitting down with a group, our team of 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 15, that we're inviting them in. We're trying to see where they're coming from and where they're at. But we're also saying, we're going to do this together. And too many times I was caught in the tell, sell, yell syndrome and not getting ideas across. And that made me look argumentative. That made me look defensive. It completely dropped my ability to influence. And those are things that I've been trying to grow and learn and change in my life. And maybe if you're stuck in that too, if you feel like you have great ideas and no one adopts them, or you feel like you're sitting around a table and people are just disconnected with what you're saying and what you're doing, try asking better questions, more open-ended questions, and seeing the world from their viewpoint. As always, if you share this video, you'll be entered into a free resource drawing. I encourage you to check out the video yesterday with Dave Ferguson. There's a free giveaway. If you make it all the way to the end of that video, you have one thing to do at the end and you get something free. So check that out, yesterday's video. This is also a podcast now. You can get it on iTunes. If you leave a review on iTunes, you can also be entered into the free resource drawing. I encourage you to take a look at your conversations this week and see where the blind spots are. We'll be talking a little bit more about that as we go on in the future. As I said, Andy Kerr interview is coming up. Tom Henschel from EssentialComm.com, executive coach, speaker, is going to be on next Wednesday doing an interview with me. I am working on getting Tracy Daly and Kristen Bonosi, the Emma's Footprints leadership team, on to speak with me. And I am also working on trying to get this really Act Solutions is their company name, Act Solutions. I'm looking at getting the leadership team of Act Solutions on. I think we're going to do that possibly next Thursday. And a few of you, I've been reaching out to many of you to see if you would come on and share your story and your leadership story. So stay tuned for that. Share the video, grab your tea, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, hi, Lenore Rum. Hi, Megan. Thanks for jumping on. I will see you tomorrow here at 9 o'clock. You can check us out on iTunes as well. And every once in a while, I upload them to YouTube. So you can search Tea with Tim on YouTube and find it there. Thanks. Be encouraged. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow morning.